Throw down to second, and we're ready to get this underway. And it's going to be right on time here at Diamond number 3, Alexander Park North. Maple River will have stepping in Allie Benning. She's a freshman, a catcher. Wears number 4 on her uniform. Right-handed batter against the righty Wilson. Coming off 2 wins. First pitch is right down Broadway for strike 1. We're right behind the center field fence. We've got a good vantage point here in the pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 to the freshman catcher. Maple River kind of learning on the job with their one senior. She swings at the next offering. It's a late swing. It's a slow dribbler. Rose throws to second base. She's safe the second baseman at first base, and she's safe. So Benning's got some wheels. That's a hit in my book. There's no error on the play. So Madison Ward steps in. She's also a freshman, second baseman. Throw down to second is not in time. And a stolen base for Benning. You got to throw into the wind here, so there could be a lot of stolen bases. Kangas threw out the first runner that tried to steal on her at Wanamingo earlier this week. She didn't have to throw into this 25-mile-an-hour wind. And Wilson's next pitch, squares to bunt, knocks it down. Maple River notorious for small ball, and they move the runner over to third. They have always been good at small ball. Several years in a row, back maybe within the last 10 years, they had a number of trips to the state tournament. There's talk that Maple River will be leaving the Gopher Conference here, and the pitch is too high a pitch to Alexis Thomas, the junior first baseman, 1-0. Runner at third, 1 down. We're in the top of the first. Dust kicking up, wind galore. They did not wet down the infield. That's a solid single to left field, and it's a 1-0 Maple River lead. Solid piece of hitting there by Thomas. Hits it to left field. Gets herself an RBI. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Kelsey Yeager. She's listed as a flex player. Throw down to second, and there's another stolen base. And she's going to go to third because the ball gets away, and the ball is not thrown accurately to third. So it'll be a stolen base and an error in my book. I'm not official, of course. And that'll bring up, Jager's already been up to the plate, hasn't she? Then she's a sophomore, right-handed hitter, the cleanup hitter. Wilson waits for the dust to kick off and delivers the next pitch. Almost hit her. Goes all the way to the backstop. Run does not score from third. That dust is going to be an issue this entire game, I think. The trees are swaying pretty good. Again, it's called high, 3-0. Wilson walked only 2 batters against Kenyon Wanamingo. Again, they call it a high strike. 3-0. Looks to be right at the top of the zone, very close. That's a strike. Here comes a runner from third because the ball gets past Kangas, and it's 2-0 Maple River right out of the gate. 3-1 the count to Yeager. Wilson steadies herself and delivers. Looked like being on the inside corner, but it's called off the plate, and it's a walk. That'll bring up Addison Frank. She's a freshman third baseman. Another right-handed batter, wears number 2 on her uniform. Maple River in their green jersey tops, blue numerals. They are the Eagles. She's wearing the blue socks outside the gray pants. Cardinals in their white numerals, red trim, black pants. That was right down the heart of the plate, 0-1. And you could be in trouble if you have to deliver it right down the heart of the plate every time to get a strike. You kind of want to be able to nibble a little bit. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 to Frank. Wilson could certainly use a strikeout here. Runner at first. 1 down and 2 runs in, and the pitch. Hit foul. Back to the backstop, still 0-2. Another freshman on deck. Man, this lineup is loaded with freshmen. Wilson's next pitch. Too low. There goes a runner down to second. The throw was nearly in time, but she's going to have a stolen base. And it's going to be awful hard to throw into that wind. If I'm the Cardinals and I get base runners on, I'd try the same thing. It's blowing in. And the pitch. Hit toward third base, knocked down, throw over to first. It's too high. It'll be another error. Runner's going to score. Yep, she's safe at home plate. They made that a lot closer play than I thought it was going to be quite honest. Nice job snaring it by the third baseman for the Cardinals, Anna Tobin, but the throw is over the head of the 6'1" Josie Rose. And Frank is at second base on an error. Not a great way to start, 3-0, and the pitch is jam job, and if she takes her time and throws her out, she does. Going to third base is Frank on the ground out, 4-3. Bria Cole was at the plate, another freshman, and Olivia Sellers, another freshman, steps in, the shortstop. Right-handed hitter. First pitch is a strike. 0-1, that dust is coming out here too. Next offering is inside. It is 1-1. Convincing victories over both Goodhue and Kenyon Wanamingo to start the season, but now behind 3-0, a spot they have not been in yet. Swing and a miss to make it 1-2. And Wilson's a pitch out of getting out of this inning. She'll rock and deliver. That's hit back to the pitcher. She can't get to it. Second baseman throws to first in time for the out, and then ends the top half of the first. But Maple River sends 7 batters to the plate. They plate 3 runs. In my scorebook, 3-0, Maple River leads. And we'll see what Yeager does here. The first pitch is way high. It's 1-0. 1-0 the count. We're sitting behind center field fence, and the pitch. Swing on and a foul ball, 1-1. Cohen did what a leadoff hitter should do in our broadcast earlier this week on the radio, that Kenyon Wanamingo game. Got on base every time she was up. Pitch is up high. It's 2-1, if I remember right. I'll look it up here in a moment. Problem is, when you have wind like this, you have to have clips clip down your papers, so you can't really have a lot of papers. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Again, this is a sophomore in the pitching circle. She fidgets with the ball on her hip. The next pitch is too low. And a full count to Cohen. Too high, she walked her. So if I were a betting man, and I'm not, I think they'd be sending the girls here too because of the wind and having to throw into it from the catcher's point. As Reagan Kanga steps in. Right-handed hitter. First pitch is right down the heart of the plate, 0-1. Joe Mauer, like Kangas, takes the first pitch. Runner at first. Nobody out, bottom of the first, down 3-0. The pitch is too low, and they're not set. They throw behind her. She was hesitant to go. 1-1 the count. I'm a little surprised they haven't sent her, to be honest. And the righty's next pitch is a jam job, a high fly ball. They come in and, no, it goes over the glove of the right fielder, or excuse me, the left fielder, and she'll be safe. Well, that's going to be an error in my book. They did tick her glove. It should have been caught. I'm not used to sitting in this vantage point, so that's why I got my outfields mixed up. It's left field. So Anna Tobin steps in. Boy, did she have a good day in the opener. A couple of triples. Pitch is low and inside, 1-0. So the tying run at the plate already here in the bottom of the first. Maybe this will be a slugfest. Yeager's first next offering is way too high, and it's 2-0 to Tobin. A hitter's count to a very good hitter. And she wants to get a hit, believe me. Swings at the next offering. It's a high fly ball. Comes out to right field. Right fielder makes a nice running catch. Throws behind the runner at first base. And that'll bring up Kate Trump. On a windy day like this, I'm thinking you probably would rather have, well, even on non-windy days, you want a line drive swing if you can get it. Swing and a miss. Nobody's going to hit one out into the wind here. 0-1 the count. If they do, it has to be a monster shot. So one down, runners at first and second, and that ball's hit very well, but right to the left fielder, and she lets it go over her head. Trump's going to have herself a double. A run's going to score to make it 3-1. An RBI for Kate Trump. A bit of a line drive there. Runners at second and third with one out. That brings up Morgan Wilson, the pitcher, who can help her cause here. I've called some home runs for her in her career already. Very capable, but I don't think we'll have any here today. 0-1 the count. She was right on that pitch. Balled it straight back, maybe a tad late, but had a good hack at it anyway. As the sophomore in the pitching circle delivers, that ball scalded. Is it a fire ball? No, it's a foul ball. I cannot see either line from where I'm sitting, the left or right field line. That wasn't very good on my part. You should have picked a better vantage point. Ah, we can see home plate. That's what matters. Oh, man, that looked like a good pitch. It's called a ball. 1-2. 1-2. Might have been a hair outside. And I mean a hair. The next pitch, that was a changeup, and she hits it to left field. Good piece of hitting by Morgan Wilson. And here comes a throw to the plate, and that allows Wilson to gain second base. So she's going to have an RBI single. 2 runs are going to score. And we got a tie game. Just that quickly. She goes to second on the throw home, trying to get Trump. And they had no chance at getting her, so that's one of those situations where you want to hold the ball and keep the runner at first base. We got a courtesy runner coming in for the pitcher, and that is, oh boy, good luck seeing the number there. It's Jocelyn Simmons. Thanks to Troy Temple, he knows because he's got the camera right on her. High fly ball. It's going to be a short one. It's going to be a foul ball. On the right field line, Sarah Tobin steps in, the designated player. She's hitting for the right fielder, Evie Donahue. They call them designated players. They're like designated hitters, but they do have different rules in fast pitch softball. There's a flex player and a designated player. And the pitch bounces in. Nice catch by the catcher. Otherwise, Wilson would be at third base. I mean, Simmons would be at third base. There's another nice, solid hit. Nothing too fancy, just a hit to left field that's going to make it a 4-3 lead. Here comes a throw down to second. She got started a little late, but she'll be safe. Will Sarah Tobin. So she has an RBI single. Ends up going to second on the throw home, but started kind of late. He was fortunate to get in there. Now their uniform's all dirty. I used to love that. Made you feel like a ball player. That'll bring in Josie Rose. She had a big hit in the win over Kenyon Wanamingo this week. It fouls it straight back. Hopefully it doesn't hit my car, because I'm thinking I might trade it in. 0-1. I wouldn't want to have a dent in the car when you trade it in. Bus is behind me too. Swing and a miss. 0-2 to Rose. One down, 4 runs in here in the bottom of the first. It's 4-3 Cardinals. And the pitch. Right on the inside corner. She watched it go by. A strikeout looking, and that'll bring up Caitlin Bothan. Also had a good night against Kenyon Wanamingo earlier this week in that 5-inning affair. The sophomore delivers. Straight back, foul off, 0-1. Bothan, one of the members of that volleyball team that got to the section final, and of course they went to state a year ago on the pitch. And a solid hit towards short, throw out of first base, and that'll end the inning. Yeah. So it'll be 8-9-1 in the order for Maple River at the top of the second. Wilson's first pitch is a jam job and a nice running. Oh, she didn't make the catch. I thought Tobin was going to make the catch. It did not happen. That would have been an outstanding catch had she made it. Lillian Kringle, a sophomore right fielder, is at the plate. Boy, this Maple River team has some tall girls. I don't remember their basketball team being, well, the boys went to state, of course, but now there's talk that they're going to go over to the south, what is that, the Southern Minnesota Conference, whatever it is, Waseca, and they think geographically it'll work better for them. And there's talk that St. Clair will come into the Gopher Conference, which is kind of interesting because St. Clair is south of Mankato, right? But I know people in the Gopher think they'll be a good fit because they're the same school size. A swing that's late, and it's 1-2 to Lillian Kringle, leading off the second inning. I'll get you Wilson's pitch count in a moment. Next offering is too low. And the pitch, too high. We got a full count. It's got to be hard, even with the wind at your back. It's kind of a little bit of a crosswind, too, from as she swings and fouls off the next offering. It's still a full count to Kringle. They're showing good contact here against Wilson, who does not have a strikeout yet. Maple River's always been a fundamentally sound program. Jam job. Nice backhand by Trump. Throws her out at first base. Nice play by Kate Trump at short. And they'll bring up Michaela Johnson. And the pitch. A lefty hits it right to Trump. She'll throw her out. So 2 up, 2 down on 2 Kate Trump assists and Josie Rose putouts. And that'll bring up Allie Benning, who started the game with a solid single. And stole second base. She's kind of jammed too, and that's going to dribble in front of the plate. Wilson comes out, throws over to first, and gets her. So a 1-2-3 inning after the 3-run first inning. First inning, she threw 26 pitches, 17 of them strikes, had 1 strikeout and 1 walk, and allowed 3 hits. A couple of errors behind her didn't help matters any. Stepping in is Lindsay Hansen. First pitch is strike called on the outside corner, 0-1. Hansen delivered a big hit in that Kenyon-Wanamingo win. That's inside, and it's 1-1. Hansen going to play volleyball at Luther in Decorah, Iowa. As she fouls that one off, and it's 1-2. When I was in high school, I attended the Dorian Festival. It was a choir festival at Luther, and I happened to be on crutches at the time. And that is the hilliest campus you'll find. Boy, was that a bear to navigate that with crutches. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout of Hansen to start the second inning. Second strikeout for Yeager. That brings up Anna Cohen. She walked to start the game, would score. As she steps in, the right-handed hitter. Yeager gets the sign and delivers. Swings and fouls it back, 0-1. In the Cardinals, 2-0 on the season. Maple River 1-1. Cardinals won both their games handily over Goodhue and Kenyon-Wanamingo, both on the road. This is their home opener. Pitch is outside, 1-1. Here on diamond number 3, the Faribault Falcons just so happen to be playing at home as well. That's thrown all the way to the fence. It's 2-1. Red Wing is taking on the Falcons, who have started 0-2 on the year. Next pitch. Ball back again. 2-2 to Cohen. This is a sophomore pitcher, appears to have some pretty good command. I mean, she's only walked the 1 batter. Gets a new ball. Steps back on the rubber. And the pitch. Too low. So we got a full count to Cohen. She will rock and deliver. That was right down the heart of the plate. It's going to be a late swing and a foul, and it's still 3-2. 1 down. We're in the second inning. 3 straight have been retired by Yeager. The pitch. Swung on, hit into the outfield. It's going to drop for a foul. Still 3-2. So a little late on the swing. Let's see if she sees the changeup here, although I wouldn't do that if they're swinging late. Nope, she walked her and did not try a changeup. Second walk, that'll bring up Reagan Kangas. Kangas was safe on an error first time up. Ball did tick the glove of the left fielder. Squares to bunt, brings the ball back. It's called a strike. Cohen's in there, and she's safe. Ball was not caught, or she might have been out. So 0-1 to Kangas. And we'll see if Coach Trump keeps the bunt on here or not. They're up 4-3. Never hurts to practice a little small ball. Come playoff time, you might need it. Pitch is wide. It's 1-1. You go to the state fast pitch tournament, there's small ball all over the place. You better be able to play that game. Defensively, especially. And the pitch. Way up over the head. 2-1 the count. Seems like Kangas has been playing for a very long time. She's finally a senior, along with Kate Trump, and that ball's hit well. It's going to be over second baseman. It's a nice ranging catch in the shallow right field. Tagging up and going to third is Cohen. That was an outstanding play by the second baseman. My, oh my. That belongs on an ESPN highlight reel. Anna Tobin steps in, flew out to right field her first time up. And she lifts this one foul, 0-1. The pitch. That ball's hit very well. It's hit right toward me. And it's going to be caught by the center fielder. Hung up too long. So a 1-2-3 top of the second, and just one walk, one base runner stranded at third base in the bottom of the second. Wilson's first pitch is a ball to Madison Ward, the second baseman, a freshman, 1-0. She threw 9 pitches total last inning, 6 of them strikes. Here it's a jam job. Trump's going to gobble it up and throw over to first base in time for the out. And that'll bring up Alexis Thomas, the junior first baseman, who had an RBI single in the first inning. Maple River scored 3 in the top. Cardinals answered with 4 in the bottom of the first. Neither team scored in the second. First offering is inside, 1-0 to Thomas. Her single came on a 1-0 count. Wilson has no strikeouts. And it's inside, 2-0. She has 1 walk. Has allowed 2 hits. As the dust kicks up again, and the home plate umpire says, I can't see where that pitch is going to be. The dust is right in my eyes. Man, should have wet down this field. That's a solidly hit ball right to Evie Donahue. Makes a really nice catch out in right field. Those aren't easy, those liners. I used to hate those when I played the outfield. Just one little misjudgment and you're in trouble. That'll bring up Kelsey Yeager, the pitcher. She walked in the first inning, and she's a tall young lady. The pitch is a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. She did later score. Wilson's next pitch is swung on. It gets by Wilson. Trump gobbles it up, throws over to first, and got her. Nice play again by Trump, ranging to her left, showing a range there. No runs, no hits, there were no errors, and nobody left on base. Yep, they go up and down in order. We go to the bottom of the third in a 4-3 game. The Cardinals lead it. They've got Kate Trump due up first. She had a double RBI in the first inning. Hammered it over the outfielder's head. Swings and misses at the first offering here. She'll step back in. That right-hander who is throwing, I'll get you a pitch count in a moment. There's must be a ball. I missed it. 1-1. "44 pitches through 2 innings already. And that's outside. So it's 2-1. 28 of the 44 pitches are strikes. She has 2 strikeouts. The sophomore's pitch is way over the head and all the way to the grandmother's house. 3-1. Yeah, it was normal temperature. It'd be really cold out here today with that wind. And she walked her. Morgan Wilson's due up next. It's a bouncer. It gets away from the catcher, and Trump could have walked to second base. He's down there on the wild pitch. 1-0 the count. So Wilson could help her cause with a hit here, would probably score Trump. Righty fidgets with the ball on the pitch. Too low. 2-0. Trump stands at second base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Gopher Conference Fastpitch softball. The bouncer makes it 3-0. Well, she's throwing a lot of pitches already. She's already at 52 and we're in the third inning. Walked her on 4 pitches. That'll bring up Sarah Tobin. Sarah had an RBI single in the first inning. We're going to have a courtesy runner come in for Morgan Wilson. That must be Miss Simmons again.
I don't know yet.
Just guessing. I missed the first pitch. It was a strike, 0-1. Tobin fouls off the next one to make it 0-2. And I should have been looking at first base to see the number on the back, but it is Ms. Simmons. Runners at first and second. 0-2 count to Sarah Tobin. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swings and misses. Third strikeout for the sophomore against a very good hitting team. That'll bring up Josie Rose. Struck out looking her first time up. Yeah, the Cardinals don't want to leave those runners out at second and third. Ducks in the pond, as they say, in the pitch. Bounces. Advancing will be both runners. On another wild pitch. And one would assume that Rose might like them a little high. Let's see if they give her that. Nice stop by the catcher there, 2-0. It was inside and a little bouncy. Looks like she's having a little trouble with her grip here. Ball's outside, and it's 3-0. She walks, her bases will be full for Caitlin Boffin. Grounded out in the first inning. Yeager's pitch, right down the middle, right back to the pitcher. She'll throw to first for 1, comes home not in time. Trump scores on the ground out. Staying at second base is Simmons. Now the umpires are going to talk about what kind of pizza they want. No, I'm just kidding. There was no pinch hitter here, is there?
So it looks like she's safe on first because she didn't have her foot on first when she...
Oh, okay, she's not out.
No.
So Josie Rose is safe at first. It'll be an error on the first baseman, I assume, for not stepping on the bag while she caught the ball. So that's what that was about. Cardinals only have 2 reserves listed on the roster. JV is playing today, so they had more reserves than that on the road on Monday. So Botlin will step in. And the righty's pitch. Oh my, that's hammered pretty good. It's going to drop in front, but it's foul. 0-1. Really hard to see that line over on that side of the field. Oh, 1-1 the count to Caitlin Boffin, and the next offering is in the dirt. Like she was bowling for dollars there. Going down to third is going to be Simmons, and it's 1-1 to Boffin. As I said before, young sophomore might be getting a little tired. He's throwing a lot of pitches, and it's a warm day. That ball's hammered. And the third baseman steps on the bag for the double play. That was a scorching line drive, an outstanding play. It's an L5 unassisted putout for the double play to end the third inning. Frank is at the plate, a freshman third baseman. Sees a 1-1 count from Wilson.
0-2. 0-2.
And that ball's hit. Center fielder can't get to it. And neither can the left fielder, so it'll be a hit. It was an 0-2 count. And Wilson threw evidently too good a pitch, 0-2. She ends up with a single. Wilson's been very efficient in this game, 37 pitches coming into the game through 3 innings. Next pitch goes all the way to the backstop, and that'll advance the runner to second. Here's the old broadcaster jinx there. Been very efficient, and then the ball is thrown. Our next pitch, squares to bunt, it's in the air. Third baseman catches it and immediately looks to second. Nice job there by Tobin. That'll bring up Olivia Sellers, shortstop. A freshman. With a runner at second and 1 out. Swings and a little late, 0-1. Wilson looks like she is settling into a bit of a rhythm here. That first inning, we had a walk, but that's been it in terms of passes. Pitch is too far inside, it's 1-1. Addison Frank stands at second base. The next offering is inside, and it's 2-1. Wilson does not have a strikeout, but that doesn't matter. Swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. Well, maybe she'll get her first one here. This is the number 7 hitter in the order. And the pitch. It's a strikeout. Well, I didn't make the call, but I'll claim it. That'll bring up Lillian Kringle, sophomore right fielder, grounded to short her first time up. Trump has put on a defensive clinic here at shortstop today, and the pitch, right down the knees. That was a perfect pitch, 0-1 the count to Lillian Kringle. She's a sophomore, the right fielder. As she fouls off the next pitch, 0-2. Thought the next batter was the right fielder. I have to look at my lineup card again. Pitch. Strike called. So 2 strikeouts to end that inning. 1 swinging, 1 looking. And the leadoff single was wild pitch to second. Did not advance from second. No runners crossed the plate. There was 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner was left in scoring position. Go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Lindsey Hansen to lead things off. Number 9 hitter struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. First pitch swings and misses, 0-1. Yeager has thrown now 64 pitches, 36 of them strikes. Swings, and it's 0-2. And Cohen on deck has walked twice. The pitch up too high. 1-2 the count to Lindsay Hansen. Really good athlete. Played volleyball, basketball, and here in Fastpitch as she fouls off the next one straight back, 1-2. Very warm day. The red flag warning out. People not supposed to burn because the conditions are ripe for grass fires. Pitch is over her head. There's a lot of stuff over my head. 2-2 the count to Lindsay Hansen. Right-handed hitter. The right-handed sophomore pitcher. Too far inside, and she's worked it to 3-2 after being down 0-2. Next offering is outside. She walked her. That's her 5th walk. And believe it or not, only 2 of them have scored so far. That'll bring up Anna Cohen, leadoff hitter. First pitch she showed bunt, throw down to second base, and she's going to be out. Wow. So Hansen is throwing out. That was a really nice pitch. I mean, a throw down to second base. I think it was a strike. Here's a strike to Cohen. Board didn't show what it was. And the pitch. It's hit. Invariably, you try to steal a base, next person's going to get a hit. So Cohen's on with a single, her first hit of the day. Out into left field. And that'll bring up Reagan Kangas. She was safe on an error, scored in the first inning, popped out to the second baseman. Actually, it wasn't really a pop out per se. It was an outstanding play by the second baseman. 1-0 the count. Looked like it had base hit written all over it. And she ranged to her left and made a nice catch. Really got a good jump on that ball. And the pitch is a strike call to the knees, and it's 1-1. Yep. Buds are coming out on the trees. And the pitch is too low. Throw behind. It's 2-1. Cardinals are up 5-3. They scored 4 runs in the first, 1 run last inning. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Pitch is inside, and it's 3-1. Danger of walking her 6th batter here, and you're kind of flirting with disaster when you get all those walks. As the home plate umpire wiping the dirt out of his eyes. And that kicks up, and that dust comes right in his eyes. You should get battle pay for that. As she falls off the next pitch, it's 3-2. That's something I thought I might do when I retire. Do a little umpiring. And I'd request battle pay if I got dirt in my eyes. I probably wouldn't get any, but I'd request it. Pitch is all the way to the backstop. That will easily advance Ms. Cohen. On the wild pitch. And the pitch. Oh my, the dust kicked up just as she threw that pitch. And I did not see what happened. A foul ball. I swear, that swirl of dust was perfect swirl in front of the catcher. And all I saw was a cloud. There's a high pitch. She swings at it anyway, fouls it off, and it's 3-2 to Reagan Kangas. Now, I've seen her tomahawk some balls that I never thought anybody could hit. She's got a knack for that. She'll step back in. Yeager's pitch. Too high again. Walked her. Walk number 6. She'll bring up Anna Tobin. Tobin's 0 for 2. A couple of flyouts, right field and center field. See if she can get a level swing here. A pitch is up high. It's 1-0. To Tobin. Runners at first and second. The first runner got thrown out trying to steal. That ball's hit pretty well, but it's in the air again to center field. And oh my, center fielder let the right fielder come over, and we're going to have an error over here. Definitely a catchable ball. The center fielder needs to take charge on that. So 1 out, bases loaded. Kate Trump steps in. She can uncork this game wide open here. 1-0 the count. Walked, scored last inning, doubled RBI, and scored in the first inning. Got nowhere to put her. There's a bouncer to make it 2-0. So Kate's going to be sitting on dead red. We'll see if she gets a changeup here. That's probably what I would call if I was catching. And the pitch. No, she didn't throw a changeup. It's 3-0. See if Trump takes a pitch. Nope. Swings and misses. It's 3-1. I don't blame her. I probably would have swung too. She's got to come down the heart of the plate. Bases are loaded. As the sophomore delivers. And it was too high. So Trump gets an RBI on the walk, number 7. As Cohen scores. It's now 6-3. Pitches up high to Morgan Wilson, 1-0. Wilson has walked and singled, a 2 RBI single in the first inning. Pitches down low, it is 2-0. If you're wondering, there is no pitch clock. There's no pitch clock in this sport, and there doesn't need to be. We're going to have a meeting in the pitching circle here. That, what was it, 91 or 92 state championship game between Maple River and BA and boys basketball. Goes all the way to the backstop. 3-0 the count. Of course, a lot of listeners may have not been alive then, but it was quite the game. The sneakers were squeaking. Mike Morrissey and I were right by the court, and it was one of the lowest scoring games ever, but it was exciting. Strike. Both teams were playing incredible defense. And I'll never forget Sid Hartman saying, "Ugliest game I've ever seen." And I said, "Sid, you don't know anything about defense." It was fun. A lot of tension. And she walked her for an RBI. Got a feel for a pitcher when this happens. Sarah Tobin steps in. We're going to have Simmons run out for, I'm assuming it's Simmons, run out for Ms. Wilson. She's been her courtesy runner the whole game. That ball's hammered. And it hits the umpire. Don't see that every day of the week. That might have gone all the way to the fence had it not hit the umpire. Run scores. Tobin gets a ribby. Actually, 2 runs scored on that, didn't they? Yeah, 2 runs scored. I was so busy looking at the ball hitting the umpire. Falls off the next pitch. I'm going to have to give him some grief after the game. Got to move a little quicker. The foul ball. 0-2 is the count to Josie Rose. Rose was safe on an error, had a ribbier last time up, struck out looking in the first inning. The first baseman pulled her foot off the bag, or she would have been out. We now have a ball thrown. The coach did come out and talk to his sophomore. I don't know if he doesn't have any other pitchers or pitches up high. Cardinals play Janesville Waldorf Pemberton here tomorrow. And then they host Kenyon Wanamingo next Tuesday. They're on the road, I think, on Monday. So they're like a Major League Baseball schedule, game after game after game. That Janesville Waldorf Pemberton game is a makeup already. They go to Austin's Todd Park to play Lyle Pacelli on Monday. And then the Cardinals are at home against Kenyon Wanamingo Tuesday. That game will be on KDHL radio as she swings and misses. It is the 4th strikeout for Jaeger. And the 9th person to come to the plate is Caitlin Boffin. She's 0 for 2. Hit an absolute screamer her last time up that ended up in a double play. I mean, you couldn't hit a ball harder. Lays off the high cheese. It's 1-0. I was just thinking when this complex got lights, I know Belfield was in 49. High fly ball, center fielder catches it, almost late to her. And that will end the 4th inning. But 9 people come to the plate, 4 runs cross the plate. Back to back, the last 2 batters she has faced. And the first pitch here, again, a big old dust cloud, and I didn't see anything. I think she swung and fouled it off. 0-1. This is Kayla Johnson, number 9 hitter. When that kicks up the dust, you cannot see. And the pitch is fouled back. It's 0-2. Maybe better on the television camera than it is on the naked eye. I'm hoping it is. There's got a sand tornado and the pitch. Oh boy, just off the plate, 1-2. Tried to get her to chase. I like that pitch. Remember, she gave up a hit on an 0-2 count to start last inning. Don't want one right in the strike zone when you're ahead 0-2. And she struck her out. 3 straight strikeouts for Morgan Wilson. And that'll bring up Allie Benning, the leadoff hitter, the catcher. The freshman is 1 for 2 on the day. The righty's pitch is hit. Tobin knocks it down and throws her out at first base. So 5 pitches, 2 outs, and that'll bring up Madison Ward. Ward, the freshman, is 0 for 2. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. So 3 strikeouts. Ball's hit to Tobin again, and she'll throw her out. And another quick inning. Lindsay got thrown out trying to steal second base last inning. Really good throw by the catcher. I mean, it was perfecto. Righty's pitch. It's high. 1-0. Well, I'm sure the coaches, and believe me, Yeager didn't want to throw balls. But you can't throw them right down the Broadway all the time either. 2-0 the count. Especially against a good hitting team like BA. This is a veteran team. Been there, done that. There's a strike on the inside corner. That was a perfect pitch. 2-1 the count. Hansen was wise to lay off that. What a beautiful day. Other than the wind kicking up the dust. 3-1 the count. Little dust kicking up all over the place. I guess it's a fair ball down the third baseline. She'll have herself a hit. Will Lindsay Hansen. Third baseman tried to backhand it, was not able to get there. So Hansen is safe at first on the infield single. That'll bring up Anna Cohen. Cohen singled her last time up. She has scored 2 runs, walked twice, so she's officially 1 for 1. Pitch over her head. 1-0. See if they send Hansen again here, up 9-3. I would highly doubt it. Oh, she hit her right in the shoulder. So the Cardinals are in business to maybe make this a 10-run game. Got runners at first and second and nobody out. In the heart of their order coming up in a little bit. Reagan Kangas steps in. She has scored twice. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. She walked last inning and was safe on an error in the first inning and popped out. Actually, it's more of a liner than a pop out to second base. That ball's a chopper. Shortstop ranging to her left, underhands it to third, which was an interesting choice, but they got her at third base. Reagan Kangas is safe on the fielder's choice. Runners are at first and second with 1 out, and that'll bring up Anna Tobin. Tobin fouls it off, 0-1. Tobin, safe on an error last time up. Hit it to dead center field. Center fielder kind of backed up and let the right fielder take the ball, and it hit her glove and was not able to squeeze it. She hits a roller this time. And I guess it's a foul ball. 0-2 the count. I always thought if I had some money, I'd have a food truck out here. 1 and 2, you got 2 games going out here on varsity level, and you got some JV going. You got fans all over the place. You probably make a little money. Slow roller, third baseman grabs it and steps on the third base bag. That was a nice play there. So Tobin's on the fielder's choice at first base. And so much for the setup for the 4-run inning. I'm not saying it won't happen, but swing and a miss. Third baseman, by the way, who made that great play was Addison Frank. And to be perfectly frank, she's a freshman. Good athlete. She really pounced on that ball. There's a strike, 0-2. Did a nice job on the underhand flip to her, too, on the previous play. That must be another grass fire. As the ball's going to roll all the way to the backstop for a ball. Runners advance. And if Kate Trump can get a hold of one here. it would put him within 1 run. He gets a hold of one, but it's in, the wind's going to take it, stay on the infield. So no run score. Boy, it sure looked like they were set up for a big inning, didn't it? Started with an infield single, then a hit batter. Wilson's still pitching. She's thrown just 57 pitches in 5 innings, 40 of them strikes. First pitch delivered is a strike here to the number 3 hitter, Alexis Thomas, who has an RBI single and a line out to right field. 0-1 the count as Wilson rocks and delivers. Inside, 1-1. I'd love to be playing behind this young lady. She just gets the ball and goes. Ball's hit toward right field, and it's going to be a foul ball. 1-2 the count. Heavy Donahue out and right. So 1-2 is the count. Wilson has 3 strikeouts. And boy, that didn't miss by a lot. It was inside, 2-2, or is it 3-2? It's 2-2. Got an elevated pitch, and she hit it to center field. Good piece of hitting there by Thomas. Looked like it was not in the strike zone, but she still got a single out of it. That's the 4th hit of the game. Maple River has not had multiple hits since the first inning when they had 2 of them. First pitch is a strike to Kelsey Yeager, who was the starting pitcher. She was listed as a flex player. And missed again. 1-1 to count. I was just going to say Wilson has just the 1 walk, and she had 2 against Kenya Wanamingo. As going to go to the backstop. Runner's going to advance to second base. Two and 1 the count to Yeager. Try to get locked in that zone again. Yeah, it's too far inside. 3-1. As she kicks and delivers. That is a strike of the knees. 3-2. Yeager walked and scored in the first inning and grounded out in the 3rd. The pitch, it's hit, little swing late, goes shallow right field. It's flipped kind of backhanded by Cohen to get the runner at first, but going down to 3rd is going to be Thomas. It's 1 out. Addison Frank steps in. She has a single and safe on an error. As Wilson's pitch, swing, and a little late, 0-1. As I was saying earlier, I was looking at these light poles thinking, man, they've been here a while. Around the fast pitch diamond, at least 3 here. 1-2 the count. Of course, I'd have to do some research. I'm guessing that they didn't immediately come in with all the fields they have now. As that was a strike, 1-2. The pitch, it's going to be a foul ball. But I would guess this had to be one of their first fields, right? Not far from Belfield, and Belfield was here before any softball fields were out here. I've seen that picture. In fact, I got it in my office. Old Bob Burke picture I saw in his office. I got a copy of it. 2-2 the count. A picture of the 1951 amateur baseball tournament. There were no softball fields, just vehicles were all parked out here in the grass. As she falls off the next pitch, it's quite a sight. Boy, the Lakers did a great job hosting the state amateur tournament last summer out over at Belfield. Nothing but compliments from people. Falls off the next offering. Still 2-2 to Addison Frank. A super young Maple River team, right? Only one senior on the roster, and I don't think she was in the starting lineup today. So look out for Maple River in future years. And the pitch is swung on and missed, and the catcher drops it. They're going to throw the ball home. Was she out? She is. It's a double play, a strikeout. They had to throw it over to first base. So it was strikeout number 4. She threw over to first, did the catcher Kangas, and then Rose threw it home, and Thomas was throwing out 3-2. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Cardinals would love to score 4 runs and end this game early, if for no other reason than to have the dust quit flying in their eyes. First pitch is a ball, 1-0, to Morgan Wilson. Wilson has been walked twice and hit an RBI double, and her courtesy runner has scored every time. It's 2-0. Last inning, this young pitcher, the sophomore Michaela Johnson, did not allow a run. Only one other inning did that occur. As she fouls off the next pitch, it's 2-1. I'll get you her pitch count in a moment here as the righty's delivery is fouled off again, 2-2. She threw 21 pitches last inning. That ball smoked, but it's going to be foul. Man, oh man. Wilson absolutely hammered that. She's just got some natural power. I mean, the ball just pops right off her bat, and the pitch. She goes again. I saw her hit a home run here last year, and it was out in a heartbeat. Morgan's an underclassman. She'll be back next year, and the righty's pitch. It's a dribbler to second. After hammering that foul ball, a dribbler to second, she's out. That'll bring up Sarah Tobin. Sarah Tobin has a couple of singles to her credit and 3 RBI. She also struck out. The pitch, way up in the air, and it's 1-0. Over the head of Tobin. And she's not a short gal. Righty's pitch. Up high again. Trying to control that riser. Missed again. It's 3-0. The Cardinals score 4 runs in this bottom of the inning. The game's over. The Cardinals are hoping they don't go to a bottom of the 7th if they have to go to the 7th. It's 3-1 now. A strike is called. Johnson's pitch. It's hit pretty well. Going to be a solid single. So a nice piece of hitting there again. Sarah Tobin gets her 3rd hit of the day. She only didn't get an RBI because nobody was on base. That'll bring up Josie Rose. Struck out looking, safe on an error, struck out swinging. Pitches inside, 1-0. This is the second pitcher for Maple River. She pitched last inning and now this one, as she falls off the next pitch straight back. 2-1. Inside with the next offering, and it's 3-1. She's got a jam job. It's hit toward left field. It's going to be foul. So a full count to Josie Rose. Swing and a miss. For Johnson, that's her first strikeout. Second out, and that'll bring up Caitlin Bothan. Looks like we are going to go to a top of the 7th. And they would have to score 6 runs to keep the game going. That ball's hammered. I mean hammered. What a catch. That was the 3rd out. That was a screamer. What a great catch by the left fielder. My, oh my. Here in the 6th inning, there's no run across the plate. Well, the top of the 7th, and the pitch is swung on and fouled off. It's 0-1. Bria Cole, a freshman center fielder, is up. She has grounded out and flown out. Wilson just delivered her 73rd pitch. That one looked to be just off the plate. It's 1-1. She has delivered 53 strikes. Has 4 strikeouts. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. And has walked 1 batter. And there's a strikeout looking. Strikeout number 5. The second one looking, and that'll bring up Olivia Sellers, the shortstop. Sellers is grounded out and struck out swinging. First pitch is inside, 1-0. She kicks and fires. Ball's hit, swung late. It's going to be a foul ball. 1-1 down the first base line. Nice sportsmanship there by Kangas to pick up the bat and hand it to the batter. Here's a strike. And it's 1-2. I'd usually grab the bat and I'd hand it to the batter and say there are no hits in that bat. There's a base hit to right field, I think. Yep. I got more than one snicker out of an umpire when I did that. Hand the bat to the next batter and say there's no hits in that bat. One down, Lillian Kringle steps in. 0 for 2, strikeout looking her last time up. If this is her, I can't see the numbers from way back here. Swings, and it's a late swing, and the first baseman Rose steps on the bag. Runner advances to second, but the second out is recorded. And 1 out away from the 3-0 start to their season are the Cardinals of Bethlehem Academy. Number 9 hitter Michaela Johnson, the pitcher, due up. She's a righty pitcher. This is a lefty hitter. And so it might be a pinch hitter. I don't know. 0-1 to count. Wilson has thrown in all of their games. That was called outside. It's 1-1. Again, the Cardinals are back home tomorrow. They play Janesville, Waldorf, Pemberton. It's a makeup game. Then they go to Todd Park in Austin and play Lyle Pacelli on Monday. Nice backhand by Trump again. Throw over to first. Did they get her? No. Throw was a little low. But I'm going to give her a hit and say she beat it out. Going to third is Sellers. Runners at the corners, and Allie Benning is due up. I don't think this is Allie Benning. But again, I can't see the number. As Wilson steadies herself and delivers. And it's a ball, I guess. 1-0. Showing a high target is Kangas. And that's where she threw it. And she fouls it off. 1-1. One and one to count. A pitch away from getting out of this, and it's now 1-2 now. She got her right where she wants her. 1-2 count. This could be the last pitch of the game right here. Oh my. Runner goes down to second base. No throw. There's no indifference in high school. It's 2-2. That's a stolen base. Swing and a miss, and that ends the game. Cardinals pick up the win 9-3 as Wilson allows just, let's see here, there were 2 hits in this inning, weren't there? She ended up giving up 6 hits. Her team had 6 hits. She gives up just the 3 runs. The difference were the walks, really. Maple River had a few errors in the game. They leave 2 runners in scoring position here in the 7th. 4 runners were left, and all of them were in scoring position. Wilson's final pitch count. She throws 61 strikes. And ends up with 84 total pitches in 7 innings. Wow, what a job by Morgan Wilson. What nickname did we give her? We'll have to play that back and figure it out. Efficient. Morgan Efficient Wilson. That's exactly what she was. Cardinals score their 9 runs on 6 hits. They commit a couple of errors and leave 8 runners on base, or 7 runners on base, 6 of them in scoring position. Cardinals are now 3-0, and Maple River is now 1-2 on the season. Cardinals are 2-0 in the Gopher. Maple River is 0-2 in the Gopher Conference. Cardinals will play Janesville, Waldorf, Pemberton Friday, 4:30 first pitch here at Alexander Park, Diamond number 3. Monday they go to Todd Park and play Lyle Pacelli. And then on Tuesday, they're back home to play Kenyon Wanamingo. That Kenyon Wanamingo game will be right here, and we'll have it on KDHL Radio.